Black Boy Music.
Dance move. Okay, I know I have two left feet, but we can try. No? Okay. One step to the right, another one to the left, one to the center. just do it, and then shake it off. Yeah. And then back. Yeah.
I've tried.
So we can.
Kuonyesha one step to the right,
Okay.
then you twist. And then one step to the left, twist. So
Hii yako na inakaa ni kama umeni. But ni sawa. Ni sawa. It's okay. Wow. Guys, thank you so much for staying tuned for E Squared, the Black Boy Band. Hey, leo ilikuwa a moment of learning new styles and dancing. Nimedance.
Hey, leo umedance. Leo
Yeah, leo nimedance. So guys, thank you so much for joining us live for Eastlands Expressions. Remember, we come live to you each and every Saturday on YouTube at E_Square TV. And of course, you can catch us across all social media handles at
E_squared at all the social media handles: YouTube, E_squared, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, Sender, everywhere.
alafu na Twitter at E_squared KE. Yes, so
Yeah.
Benjamin,
Ambe,
how are you? Welcome to another show.
third time.
Yeah, that time. How does it feel like?
This time it's easier.
Mhm.
I feel comfortable. Yeah, it's a good. Leo ni siku poa. Imeanza.
Mhm.
It's been a good week.
Yeah,
Siwezi
it's
complain.
been a good week. It's been a good week, guys. And I'm hoping you are sharing this video with your family members, with your friends, with your neighbors, everyone and anyone around you guys. And of course, we have an amazing show lined up for you today. We're going to be talking about that later on. But as we catch up and get to understand how your week has been, do you mind sharing some of your week's highlights?
Well, on the good side, kumekuwa na a tough time in Europe, huko Ukraine, Russia nini, but leo wamekuwa na holiday. Imagine, Russia wamekuwa na holiday ya ku celebrate nini, imagine,
Nini?
ku take over Crimea. I know.
Wow.
It is funny, but 200,000 people walipangana ku wave flags and all. Well, si ati ni kitu poa Kenya wanafanya, but at least kuna some good happening somewhere.
Kuna joy
Kuna
at the
joy
end of the tunnel.
there.
Yeah, so that's a good start.
The
Yeah.
bad things kwa wiki, kumekuwa na a lot of negative politics, especially revolving around your story and Ndudhi. Politicians wengi wanadai kutumia hiyo kitu ku pick sides. Bedhe hapo hakuna sides manze. Kila msee ni Mkenya hapo, that can be anyone. So Uhuru aliongelea the same thing, but yeah.
I will ask you about your view on that later on, but I have a couple of highlights. My week has been great, and today, Kenyans, we're celebrating Kenya. So, my first highlight 9 Kenyans have been nominated for this year's 40 Under 40 Africa Awards. It happened in Accra, Ghana on 26th. So, that's a thumbs up for Kenya. And then there's also this guy, the US based Kenyan software, Joseph Gitonga. You know Joseph Gitonga?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Joseph Gitonga apparently qualify for Forbes under 30 this year.
Wonderful.
Wonderful, right?
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Keep waving the Kenyan flag, manze.
Yeah.
Tunaenda far.
So amidst everything that's going on, kuna watu bado wana raise the Kenyan flag up high. So in whatever situation you are at, of course, you can also do something for the country. Of course, I know we are heading towards the election season. Na venye Benjamin amesema, there's a lot of politics that goes on around there. But at the end of the day, it comes back to you and I, Benjamin. How wise are you? What kind of generation do you want to build for future generations as well? You know? And what kind of society do you want to live in? And want your kids to grow in as well? And then, of course, my low light, ina inajua utapenda. Nyi mliongelelea story na men's conference sana. You remember that time, tumefika hapo finally. So guys, it is sad news. Actually, it is so sad. What was his name again?
Chairman.
Is it Jackson? Korir.
Yeah.
Yeah, alikuanga chairman wa men's conference. So
Kibor.
he passed on. Kibor passed on 16th. So as a squad, we are sending our condolences to the family. May you find peace and the strength to overcome this period. I know it's a tough time. Times are also tough. But he's going to be with the Lord. And we just pray the family will get that strength to be able to push through this hard time. And yes, that is how we're going to be starting the show, guys. So we have an amazing lineup for you, of course. But we'd love to apologize. Our pediatrician is not going to be in due to unavoidable circumstances. Yeah, we're going to be having her next week. But guess who's going to be joining us live for the first time on this squared? You guys. Josephine is in the building. Josephine is somewhere around, and she's going to be joining us for the Zoom conversation. And basically, conversation tunataka kuhave na Josephine ni kuweza ku-understand as a mom. Where did, like, unaonaga unaambiwanga kuna hii food unafaa kupatia mtoi, kuna moms wenye wanakuwa advised to have meal plans for their babies. So, talking to Josephine as a mom, how did she get through to that space? Alijua aje this is the right food ya kupatia mtoto wangu? What did not work? How did she handle that? And how did she make sure that the kid anakula a well-balanced diet?
A healthy baby.
A healthy baby is a healthy mother, a healthy society.
And a healthy tomorrow.
Yes, and a happy generation.
True.
Yeah, so we're going to be having that conversation with Josephine in a few, but before we get there, should we let the band play a little, or we just watuburudishe kidogo tena, sinda? Yeah, but we'll be back with Josephine's conversation. Stay tuned.
every day unaangalia, every day una learn something new every day. For 1 year you'll be a master, yeah? If you take a guitar, you start playing every day for 8 hours, you'll be a master. So ukitaka kudance, ukitaka kuimba, ukitaka kufanya nini, just take something one that you feel like I want the world to know me as the best dancer kwa hii dunia. For 10 years, as you're doing it every day, hakuna mtu atakaye kufikia kwa hii dunia.
Ni poa that naona mko hapa, but mtu mwingine akiona naona kama ni si ufala, but naona kama ni iko tu, si ndio?
Si kitu serious.
Si kitu tu, nika kitu tu kana happen and then but ebu imagine hizi camera zikishoot and then somehow somewhere waidendo edit, for example ziende YouTube, and then mse fulani tu fulani atakuwa anaenda anacheki around, anacheki maartist wagano kwa Kenya, and then on Junior ndio huyo, una get. So even mimi nilipata tu simu usiku wa 8 nikaambiwa ni aje, mimi ni Emmanuel Jal, nimecheki sana kinyo unadu na ningependa sana ukuwe part of team yetu. So and then tukamleta tukafanya hizo vitu zote. So si upuuza platforms ka hizi tunaona ni ndogo, but if you know the importance of vitu ndogo uta appreciate even the smallest.
Yeah.
So si upuuza vitu ka hizi tunaona ni ndogo, yani tunaona materi ningefanya shughuli zingine, but hizi ndio zinafanya eventually mse 5 years from now, 2 years from now hawezi jua Kenya Mungu atafanya, una get. Na pia wase upuuza kuperform. So kama uko na talent yote unaogopa kuonesha watu, juu unaogopa kuchekwa, unaogopa kudharauliwa, but inatake kuchekwa fast. Venye Junior, wacha nitumie example ya Junior, aliperform fast, akaperform tena, akaperform tena. So vitu ndogo hizo zinakaa ndogo, but eventually zina build up, zinakuwa big.
Life is about the best. Life ni about, are you available? Are you always ready? Are you always doing it? Are you consistent? So kuna wasi tulianza nao walikuwa wakali, lakini unapata at one point arap tena. Next year bado ile ngoma yake last year bado ndiye anaimbiaga watu.
Shida ya my youth wengi ni jackpot mentality, and that's why betting in big Kenya.
Yeah.
Sababu wasa wanapenda ni bet saini kuwe na do, ni kuwe na ndai na madem. Basi unajua
Ndai madem
na madem na luku, ngomesahau luku na luku, unaona?
vitu nne.
But mimi nasema hivi manze, unacheki process ya kufika mahali unaenda ni muhimu, kwa sababu unacheki, unaona ukipata do haraka hata uwezi value yani.
True.
Lakini ukitama, kasa unaona kabla wamekuja hapo wamepigiwa freestyle, wamefanya nini, ile siku watakuja kupata do hawataiharibu, kwa sababu watakuwa nakumbuka ile siku walitama, unakumbuka ile siku kwa gana dishi, unaona? Ndio maana mimi musemaga time ya kusote na waga ni muhimu juu na kushepigi vile una reason, unajua? Vile una reason manze, kwa sababu unafoweke, wacha nikwambie, ukiwa na passion unafollow passion yako, do itakufuata.
True.
Unacheki?
Kuna buda fulani uniambiaga hivyo manze.
Unacheki alafu kitu moja, unacheki dhahabu ndio kwa dhahabu lazima ipitishwe kwa moto yani, unaona? Alafu manze nisema ni vizuri usigive up yani, na watu wengi usahau sana kuomba yani. Lazima manze upresa jama manze. Ni beyond asama most time. Yeah man. Alafu na nisema kitu ya mwisho ni mia mpya mia mzee na mipasuka, value ni value ni ile. So manze usidisrespect anyone, unaheshimu kila mtu manze, unaishi poa, watu ndio mali au sio? Yeah man.
So yes guys, of course you can get to interact with all of the comments, all the videos, the amazing video you've just seen play on your screen. You can interact with that content on your YouTube at E_Square TV. Just search E_Square TV. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like our content, make sure you share the videos, and of course just be part of the family. Let's keep growing and getting better together. So Josephine is joining me live via Zoom. So we're going to be having a conversation basically on getting to understand how she maneuvered into that space nutrition-wise as a mother. So joining us live is Josephine. For you guys who know Josephine, Josephine is back. So hi Josephine.
Hey, nice to see you guys. Nice to be back.
It's nice to see you too.
Or should I actually say happy 2022?
Yes. We can start from there.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice to see you guys. It's nice to be back. Yeah, you look so cute. And you're doing such a good job.
Thank you. Hata wewe unakaa poa, by the way. Yeah, we've missed you.
Yeah. And don't worry, you might actually see some cameos of the babies. They are just hovering around me. So mtawaona tu wanatokelezea wanarudi.
Waseme
But
hi,
yeah.
si ndio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Typical Saturday.
Yeah. So how have you been generally? It's a new year, of course. There are those resolutions mtu kuwa nazo at the beginning of the year. But now as Josephine, how have you been? What have you been working on?
I'm fine. I've been fine. The year started off okay. Yeah, so obviously I'm not on your screens anymore, but so yeah, we are following up on a few new projects here and there. But generally, so far we're in March, third month.
Yeah.
So far, I can say so good. So far, so good. God has been faithful. He's been so gracious. Yeah, apart from battling some flus here and there with the kids, and yeah, tuko salama. We are really happy.
Okay. That is encouraging.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. So we want to have a conversation with you basically on motherhood. So Josephine, as Caroline, nataka ku understand what did Josephine do at this particular point to make this thing happen, and as someone who would also want to be in that space one day. I'm hoping I'll be learning from you a lot today. So I'll be doing less of talking and you more of talking. Sinda?
Of course, you guide me through the conversation because we can have this conversation for like an hour. You know, we can talk. Eh?
We can talk.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so let's start from motherhood is very beautiful. And you normally told motherhood is a lifetime commitment. So what are some of the things Josephine would say, zile memories zenye zime come in between, zenye yeye anakuanga like, wow, it was worth it. Wow, I love the journey.
First and foremost, I have two kids. You can see one behind there,
Yeah.
kada pita. That's the last born. Acting last born. Nasikianga watu wakisema acting last born, lakini mimi kwangu ni last born. She's 4 and the first one is 6. He's a boy. So yeah, motherhood has been an interesting journey. Fun. There are days you cry, there are days you laugh, there are days you want to pull out your hair, you know. But it has been a beautiful, beautiful journey, and I don't think I can compare it to any other thing I have done in my life. You were asking about the
Sorry? The memories, yes.
The memories. The memories. There's so many, and you thank God for that we are living in a digital age, that sometimes when you get reminders from Google Photos and you look at them and you're like, oh wow, they were so small, they were so cute. Especially when they are at this age where you're bumping heads every other minute, telling they become opinionated. Then you look at those photos, you're like, oh, they were so cute. And I don't know whether I can pick out any moment, like from when they were born to where they are now. Yani memories just every other day. Things, small things they do or they used to do, and you're like, oh, I miss when she used to say this, or I miss when he used to do this and that. So it's really hard to pick out, you know, bits and pieces. So when you actually see even the memories, you're being reminded by Google Photos, or you just go back to your albums and just look at their photos and videos, you're like, oh, I wouldn't trade it for anything, really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what did Josephine normally do when Josephine ever got herself into that space where she feels like she can pluck her hair off, she can scream her head out? What did you do?
Oh wow, there are so many moments of that. Yeah. They are really so I would tell a new mom that it gets easier. No, actually, when they are small like that, when they're small tiny babies, they are so much fun. You have no idea what's coming your way. But for some reason, at the end of the day, you just want to hug them. 1 minute you're fighting, the next minute you're just come, I hug you, and you're smothering them with kisses and everything. So what did I do in those moments? Luckily, my husband has also been very present in raising them. So, you know, I'm like, please stay with your babies for a few minutes. I need to go and take a walk outside. Because especially the first year, when you're a new mom, oh my God, you know, people usually talk about postpartum depression and they think it's a joke. It's not a joke, by the way. It creeps in and you never know it's creeping in until one moment you want to throw your baby out the window, you know. Halali, umechoka, you're not sleeping as well. You're tired from all the time. You're the one who is feeding the child and everything. So you don't even feel like your body is yours. So when those moments used to come, I would actually leave the child with the dad, go take a walk. There's a day actually he alinifukuza kwa nyumba. Akaniambia shika do, ende ukafanye shopping, ufanye window shopping, ununue nguo, you do something, retail therapy, you know that always works with us women. So yeah, you need some moments of
So
before you lose your mind.
okay.
Yeah.
So like how long does that normally go through, the postpartum depression? How long does it go?
Well, people are different, you know, so you can't really tell. You can't really tell how long, when it creeps in and at what point it goes. But for some people it's very severe. They actually have to go for counseling and therapy and the likes. But there's really no telling at what point it starts and at what, because people are different again. It's not everyone who gets the postpartum depression. So yeah, so it can come and go, yeah, at different phases in someone's life. So there are people who, I have had women who are still going through postpartum when their child is like 7 years old. So yeah, so it's I think it's individual based.
Okay. So
Yeah.
okay. When you had your first child, did you have like someone who would guide you on the right time, so giving your child a meal, the right ways of bathing them, the right time of breastfeeding them and all that?
Well, yes, I did. I would say my mom and my mom-in-law, they would constantly check up on me, and when it got to the time when we started winning, they would encourage me like, okay, maybe you can start with this and that. And there's fellow moms who are around my age, you know, so we would exchange notes, and I'm like, there's actually a friend of mine who also delivered around the same time as I did. So we used to exchange notes a lot. Luckily, I had that kind of support. And then there's this group, there's a support group on Facebook that I think new moms need to join in like yesterday. It's called let me confirm for you.
Okay.
It's called, I think My Newborn and Beyond. Yeah, My Newborn and Beyond. So that group is like a support group for new moms. So you find so much information there. And if you have any problem as a new mom, you can post and other moms are there telling you, do this, do that. And if you're able to compare the notes with other moms who are going through the journey with you. And that group was also very, very, very crucial in my winning journey, because my friend, winning is is a different ball game altogether. Well, you always, as a new mom, you're always like, I can't wait to start winning this child. I need to start feeling like my body is mine, you know. Up until you're there and you're like, okay, so what do I feed this child, you know? And then maybe you feed the baby something and they get constipated, or you feed the baby and they start throwing up. It's everywhere, you know. So you need the support, and me having my moms, and I'm a firstborn, so my sisters obviously wouldn't have helped me in any way, but my moms really came in. My aunties, cousins who had also gone before me, so I could ask a few questions here and there, and a lot of support from my friends as well.
Okay. And what would you say are some of the issues you face now as a mom, the first time you were introducing your child to solid food?
I remember very clearly I think around 8, was it 8 months? No, before I even get there, when we started winning, you know, the way you were told, give the child uji, and you think, so I can just go buy any sort of uji and give the child. Where then constipation happened, and you're like, okay, so how do I go on from here? Because niliambiwa akunywe uji. But I didn't actually go the next step and ask. Any kind of uji flour will do for the baby. No. So they got constipated the first time. And it was not funny. Because no one tells you, no one prepares you that for knowing that your child can stay up to 3 days without pooping. Like us as adults, it will be weird if you stayed for 3-4 days without going to the loo.
Yeah.
So obviously, when you're a new mom and you see your child is not going to the loo, you're like, guy, what's happening? You know. And I didn't for the first few months, the first month I didn't know that, because I hadn't even checked with other moms that they had gone through the same experience. So when it happened, I asked around, I posted it on the group, and guys were like, no, it's normal. Ameenda siku ngapi? Mbili. Okay, so that's fine. Just give them a 2-3 days. And you know, you're not supposed to give them 6-month-old water.
Okay.
So it's you just breastfeeding and waiting for the poop. When you're a mom, by the way, you never know how important poop is until you become a mom.
Okay.
You're there checking what color, how it smells, you know. Yeah, so eventually it happened. And then fast forward around 7-8 months, I can't remember, my firstborn, he got serious constipation from bananas.
Okay.
And he woke up in the middle of the night screaming at around midnight. He's screaming, he's holding his tummy, he's hunched back like that. He was in so much pain. That is I have never that memory, by the way, I always like forgetting about it, because I had never seen him in so much pain. It's at 2 in the morning. It's 1-2 in the morning. What am I supposed to do with a screaming child? The child is fed. We fed him. He had showered. He had a clean diaper, so we didn't know what was wrong until we started massaging his tummy, and we realized it's like his tummy was a bit hard. So I don't know, something told us, let's check at his bum where he's supposed to be pooping, and we could see he's not able to poop because the poop has hardened. So we could see small like a small rock at the where he's supposed to be pooping.
Mm-hmm.
So now you're wondering, okay, so how do we remove this? We tried soap, because people say you can use soap to soften. It was not working. Please note, all this time he is screaming. There's nothing that you're doing that is helping the child. It was so agonizing. So we decided to try and, you know, kumfinya kidogo ndio iache kuform the circle so that it can pita.
Mm-hmm.
So we started finyai him, and eventually as we massaged and did the bicycle kicks,
mm-hmm.
he was able to poop, and it was so much poop.
Mm-hmm.
We had to shower him because it ran all the way to his back.
Okay.
It was so much. He was in so much pain, and to this day, that memory has stuck with me. That my second-born, I think I gave her bananas after she was a year old.
Okay.
I didn't want that experience again.
Okay. And is it something that ever happened again, or it just happened that once?
Just that once, and it's never occurred again. But again, we never gave him bananas again for almost, I think, after his first birthday.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you don't want to have a crying baby in the middle of the night, and there's nothing you can do to release. And he's looking like he's in so much pain.
Yeah, I can imagine how that might feel. So
it was horrible.
Yeah. You've talked about bananas, so that is something that we can say it's a lesson that you picked from the first child, and then you did not do it to the second child, you know. So
Yeah, but you see, for some kids, bananas are good for them. As in, it's never okay. This is Ayana.
she's shy. So
Yeah,
what,
for some kids like her, she didn't ever get constipation from the bananas. But then again, I mentioned we gave her when she was way older.
okay. So what
Yeah.
are other lessons Josephine would say she learned as a mom with the first child, the things that she did not do with the second child?
What other thing in terms of their nutrition?
The nutrition, yes.
Well, apart from that, I don't think we ever experienced major issues with. It's just that there are sometimes the firstborn was a very good feeder. So eating all sorts of foods was very easy for him. Like we would introduce something, he likes it, he takes away with it, you know. It was very easy to feed. It was practically a breeze with the firstborn. But this little mini me here was a different ball game altogether.
Okay.
So at times we wouldn't be sure whether it's the food she's rejecting or her stomach. There's something wrong because she's a very picky eater. She was still is a very picky eater. So there are things that we thought would be normal, like she would love, like the brother, you know, uji. So many kids love uji, butternut, you know, the pureed one. But it was not so with her. So we had to try so many other things before we figured out, okay, she can eat this comfortably. This we have to take a break from often, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Josephine, what are some of the signs you'd say if let's say a first-time mom or a second-time mom should be on the lookout for foods that maybe do not work when they're trying to introduce their kids to solid food?
The signs.
Yes. How would you know this food is not working for my kid?
Okay. So when you're winning, when you're starting to win, there are parents they're new moms who are very eager to win. So they want to feed their child according, like, you know, the way you eat today, you eat rice, tomorrow you eat ugali, the following day you eat something else. Don't do that with your child, because first, if you introduce too many foods at once, the baby, remember the baby has just been taking milk for 6 months. So you can't introduce so much at once because their digestive tract is still developing, their stomachs are still they're slowly expanding, so they can't handle bombardment of so many things at once. So the rule of thumb is always give 3 days. If you introduce uji today, do it tomorrow and then the following day, 3 days. If the baby doesn't have any problem with the uji, move to something else. If you've decided to do butternut, you puree it, do it for another 3 days. Bananas, the same, matoke, yeah. Or if you're thinking of pumpkin or whatever it is that you want to begin your baby with. So and it starts pole too. So 3 days, and then you'll be able to tell this food is good for my child, this food is not good for my child, or it's making the baby constipated, or the baby may have a reaction. You never know your child's allergies. So 3 days, then you introduce something else. Another thing is there are times your baby will eat something and then they start wanakaa ni kama wanaak mgongo hivi nikawa wanataka kuvuta miguu kwa tumbo. You'll notice some sort of discomfort. You can also check whether it's the food that you had given your child. But also keep a food diary for your baby so that you know jana alikula nini, even in future, so that you can tell if you had introduced anything. Probably there's something that is going wrong with the food that you had introduced.
Okay. Talking of
Yeah.
food diary, did you have a meal plan? And if not, or if yes, are you someone who believes meal plan can work so perfectly well for a mother trying to raise their kid?
Yeah, there are people who love routine and they love planning. There are mothers who are serious planners. So, and it also helps for budgeting anyway. So if you're one of those moms who is a planner, you want to plan for things days ahead, you can have a meal plan, because it will also help you keep track. You know, when you have a meal plan, you don't need to put a food diary. You don't need to keep a food diary, because already you know what your child ate yesterday, the previous day, and what you're going to eat the following day. So yeah, it depends on who you are as a mom. It works for many moms. They swear by it. Others, it's too much work. So whatever floats your boat, do it.
Okay. So let me ask you a very innocent question. So is it possible for my child maybe to have an allergy to a particular food and not show signs?
So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's possible, but not really. They'll have to show something. They'll show something. They might puke. Actually, it's not possible. Yeah, they might puke, or you actually start seeing rashes on their face or somewhere. I'm not an expert in this, but yes, I have seen some kids, like kids who have allergies like to eggs. You'll start noticing they get rashes on their skin or whatever. So yeah, you'll notice it as a mom.
Okay. So
and then you know, as a mom, you're very keen when your child when you're a new mom, you always study, you always unaangalia unaangalia sijui wapi when you're showering the child. So you'll always notice something. Hata tabia, something will tell you something is not right with my child.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get to the comments first, and then I'll continue asking a few more questions. So Steve Biko anasema Happy New Year, Josephine. Unakumbuka Steve Biko?
Steve, I have missed you, Steve. Na haukukuja studio.
We also have.
We need to meet Steve. Happy New Year to you.
Okay, we will get him. So I'm hoping Utako may come by then. Yeah, so Musumba Felix, thank you so much for staying tuned for his square. Anasema, nice to see Josephine. I missed my favorite host. Woo!
Oh.
Umemisiwa Josephine, Sada.
Hey, hello. That's the first nice thing he has said this year to me.
Wow.
Okay.
He's also saying, okay, of course, Josephine, you know what to expect from this. Tuned in live from Chicago, of course. You call Chicago.
Of course.
And then, akona swali, anasema, what advice can Josephine give people like me who are planning to be uncles?
In terms of
like he's basically
unapelekea mtoto kukula.
Tunaweza anzia hapo, that maybe how we can be a good uncle or a better uncle rather.
If you're planning to become a good uncle, please don't spoil your nieces and nephews with sweets and juices and everything. This processed things. Siku hizi see, they're not as good as they were kitambo. So yeah, if you want to be a nice uncle, please be that uncle who takes for them a balanced or healthy snacks.
Yeah. What is a healthy snack though?
Fruits. There are crackers that are healthy. You can buy crackers for them. The kids love funny things like crackers. you can look for crackers that are healthy, buy them oat biscuits, things that are not really going to, and not the sugary type, things that are not going to destroy their teeth. And at the same time, if you have to take for them juice, please just blend it or just buy fresh juice somewhere. Just be intentional in being very healthy. Because right now, let me tell you, with my kids, I am actually on week 2 of treating strep throat because of sweets, because of juice. Those end of year, end of term parties that are in school.
Yeah.
I am intentionally making sure that my child does not drink the processed juices and the sweets and everything. But you see, now when they go to school, it's a different ballgame altogether.
Yeah.
So they come home and you have to keep running to the hospital because of issues to do with sweet stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, so be a good uncle and give them healthy snacks.
Okay. I loved what you say when we started the interview. Kids are different. Kids adapt differently to different situations and circumstances. Sorry.
That's
true. What would you say now as a mother? What are some of the fruits that did not work for your kid? Maybe zenye walikuwa, other than the banana, what are other fruits that did not work for your kids?
Pawpaws.
Okay.
My second born does not love pawpaws at all. Alikata kukula pawpaws. She refused to have avocados as well. I don't eat avocados, so I think she's also taken a lot of the foods that I'm averse to. What other fruits? Pineapples. Even those, and mostly it's my second born actually. My first loved most of the foods, so he didn't have a very big deal, a very big issue with eating and the fruits, apart from the banana issue that we had. And after that, by the way, he loves bananas, so we've not had such a big problem with his eating and his appetite as well.
Okay, thank you for sharing.
Yeah.
Ian Josh has a question. Anasema, at what point do you decide it's time to stop breastfeeding and start giving solid food?
Hi, Ian. At what point do you decide it's time to stop breastfeeding and start giving? Okay, so the recommended age to start weaning, start giving your baby solid food is 6 months, recommended by WHO. So and even as a new mom, you'll be told this in hospital. So every time you go for the clinic visits, they'll alert you. But there's some babies who don't get enough milk from their moms, so pediatricians can actually give an exception. Wanakwambia, if you feel like your baby is not getting enough and probably you can't supplement with formula, there are kids who can handle food earlier than the 6 months, but it's not recommended.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But at the same time, when you start weaning, even after that 6 months, you continue breastfeeding. You're supposed to continue breastfeeding the baby. There are kids who breastfeed up until they're 3 years. So it depends on the mom, and it also depends on the child.
Okay.
There are mothers who don't mind breastfeeding that long. There are others who can't breastfeed past a year and a half, now the baby is too big. So it also depends on you as a mom.
Okay. And what happens in a circumstance that my kid, I'm trying to introduce them to solid food, but they have stopped breastfeeding already? Is that advisable? What can I supplement breast milk with other than baby formula? Is there something else?
Sometimes doctors will recommend goat milk. It's the closest thing to breast milk. I've heard other people talking about camel milk. I don't know about it, but goat milk is what I know a lot of pediatricians talk about.
Okay. Steve Biko ako na swali ingine hapa. Anasema anataka mnisaidie kujua kwa nini watoto wadogo hawafai kupewa maziwa ya ng'ombe. Do you have an answer to that?
Well, again, I said I'm not an expert.
Yeah.
I'm just a mom. But I was told. I remember when the young ones were really small. They told me that cow milk is very hard to digest for babies. It's heavy on so many things. So it's kids find it very difficult to break it down. Their systems find it very difficult to break it down. So that's the reason I was told. So I think we'll wait for the pediatrician or the nutritionist to come next week and tell us exactly why. So I think Steve, you tune in next week. Because that means nataka kujua.
Sasa leo pia kuna, since you're on that other side, you've mentioned you're not an expert, but your views are very important, Josephine. So there's another question here for you. Makenda TV, hi Makenda TV, thank you so much for joining us live. Anasema, why do babies deny porridge and milk while still young at 2 years?
Porridge and milk at 2 years. They refuse. Is that what he means?
Yeah.
Well, it depends with their taste buds. You know, just the same way you'll find people who love fish, others don't love fish. Babies, surprisingly enough, they're just like us. So ukizoesha mtoi, maybe leo unakunya porridge, kesho unakunya porridge, the other day they also get bored. So I think maybe ukianza kuswitch, maybe today you give them porridge, tomorrow you give them something else. When you switch like that, maybe you give a smoothie, you know. You'll never know. Maybe it's usually about try and error with kids by the
Okay. Okay. Brad Ongota, hi Bradley, thank you so much. Bradley anasema nice to see you, Josephine. Tarumbeta anapuliza tarumbeta. He's excited to see you.
Hi Brad.
Ian Joyce anasema Steve Biko, hiyo ni Kiswahili umeongea, big up. Okay, Steve Biko.
Tujaisikia akiongea Kiswahili.
By the way. Haya, na amejibu Ian. Okay, anasema ni vile leo niko na kamusi bro, but Kiswahili si mchezo wa watoto. Kiswahili si mchezo wa watoto.
Tafadhali.
Okay. So this is for you from Steve Biko. Anasema Josephine, nangoja utoke US ndio nikuje. Haha. Hebu come Steve.
Nitawashoni kiland.
Ni sawa, Steve atatushow kiland. Hata mimi nataka kumuona. Brad Gota anasema nice conversation is Square TV. Thank you so much, Bradley. So I think that is all we have on the comment session for today. But hey Josephine, asante sana. But before nikuachilie urudi kwa, amesema anajitaje acting last born. Amesema ni acting last born. Before I let you go back to acting last born, what are some of the things you'd say, more of lessons and you've learned in being a mother?
Lessons. Oh, wow. As a mom, you just have to be present to raise your children. You can't delegate that duty to anyone. You're the only person who will notice little tiny things about your child when something is off, even as we are talking about nutrition. And you being present, you're able to actually see or point out even when something is just beginning to unfold in their life. And listen to your child. watch for those tiny little signs. Akifanya, you know, as a mom, you learn how to what is it? Kuna vitu which you as a mom will just be able to tell something is up with your child. So the more you spend time with your child, the more you'll be able to pick up those things. So being intentional about being present with your child when you can. Okay, that's a broad question. We could go on and on and on by the way, but other lessons, oh wow, not at the top of my mind at the moment that I can actually. There are so many things that are running in my mind right now.
It's okay. Ukiland tutaongea, si ndio? Ukiland we will talk about them. But in the meantime, what will Josephine say she loves about being a mother?
What I love about being a mom. Oh, it's the tiny hugs, the tiny kisses. Taking care of someone else, like a whole new human being, and watching them grow. You know, it's priceless, that feeling. And impacting some of your values in someone else other than you. It's out of this world. Like there's no feeling that I can explain. There's actually no word that you can explain out of the joy that you get out of it. And yeah, it's the tiny little things, tiny little moments that you're like, oh wow, yeah, I'm grateful I did this. Yeah. I'm really grateful I did this. You just look at them and you're like, yeah, ni wangu, by the way. And there's just that pride.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time, Manze. It has been nice seeing you. Now, Felix anasema pia I know of a child who was drinking porridge at 2 months. Felix knows of a child.
Yeah, you see?
Yeah.
There are people, they are babies. Like, hata ukienda ushago, by the way, they don't know stories of 36 months. Mm-hmm. They start feeding their kids from when they are 2-3 months. Yeah. So I also know a child who started feeding. Hata si porridge. Mm-hmm. Alikuwa apewa ugali. Sijui at 3 months.
Okay.
Yeah. And they survived. Somehow they survived. So yeah. But please, new moms, kabla you do that, ask your pediatrician.
Yeah. Seek professional advice.
You have to seek professional advice.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mami. Thank you so much for creating time to talk to us and educate us. And thank you so much for just being here.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. Say hi to, I can see her somewhere behind you. Say hi to acting lastborn. That's the firstborn. Hi.
That's Eli. He's actually unwell, so yeah, we've been having very long nights.
He will be okay. He'll be okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So, guys, remember this conversation is still going to be up on YouTube. Once the live ends, you can still interact with this content. And we are on YouTube at E_Square TV. We come live to you each and every Saturday from 2 to 4 p.m. And, of course, you can follow us across all social media handles at E_Square TV and on Twitter at E_Square KE. So about now, we want to take a quick breather. And for those staying at home, wale mmeka nyumbani, you're watching us from home, I know there's something that art triggers in you. Art triggers something in everyone. And if you do not love art, Manze, I do not know how we can go about this, because there is so much to explore in the art scene. And what we are about to see on your screen right now is something that we did at Corner Art in Buruburu. It's an amazing place that exhibits art. The artist himself is someone who's so passionate about what he does. He does it so differently and so well. So take a look at our E-Squared on location for this week.
Kukaa? No. Sometimes we even make it na client amesimama vile tumesimama tu hivi anakoja tu iishe ende na.
And then there's this one that has been framed. So why did you actually frame it? And it's kind of African too.
This is an African. Okay. This it's been done on Manila paper.
Okay.
Alafu imekuwa glass. So ni different. Hii juu ijafanywa kwa canvas. Ilikuwa tu kutry something different.
How long has Art Corner been in business?
We've been doing it, but ilikuwa tu ni kamza. Sasa tunakuanga watatu. We are 3 artists. There's me, there's BK, there's J1. But we all involve ourselves differently. Kila mtu kuna part na play. Yeah. So for 3 years.
Yeah, so tell us about this beautiful set here.
Okay, bado ni art. At the end of the day, what is art is something that people see.
how impactful is it to the art business?
Very, very. You see, they relate. They are all decorating your houses, decorating your hotels, decorating your offices. Kuna hiyo relation between the two. Kitambo, I used to struggle, ninashindwa nitapeleka wapi art yangu after I did my college, nashindwa nitapeleka wapi art. So artist akikuja na he's trying something na ni mdogo ndio anaanza, he doesn't have any platform at all. I'm willing to help. Nimuuzie art, ajimarket, jina yake spread, but I charge for that.
What will an artist want to achieve with this form of art?
The thing with this form of art, cubism, you see everything is in form of shapes.
Yes.
He tried to show us that still lazima present kila kitu ikiwa normal. At the end of the day, sometimes normal is boring. As in, you wake up to the same route, you wake up to the same routines, you wake up, inafika tu place inaanza kukua, unachoka tu. He wanted that to be different.
Something that I love so much. Can I tell you what I love most?
Which?
I love rabbit.
Hey!
Other than fish, I also love rabbit. And this is a piece that caught my attention. I was like, I actually do have 2 rabbits. Yes. Why are they fighting though?
Now, time nilikuwa nachora hizi, okay, zilikuwa zinacheza actually.
Okay.
And then I had to change them. Mbona hii inakaa ni kama imepiga hii ingine teke na hii inakaa ni nini? Si ndio, unaona kabisa inakaa teke, mchezo gani hiyo inakaa hivyo? So nikafikiria zilikuwa hivyo plain, haikuwa na hizi stuff nimeweka. So I thought to myself, na nikiongeza belts na niongeze gloves ikuwe ni kama kuna some action kabisa. Apparently ile work.
Hii technique
inaitwa marbling, whereby you mix different types of paints that are resistant to each other. Ukitumia rangi ya maji na mafuta, they resist. Your time zina resist, they create these effects.
Let's tumalizie. Tell us about this piece, the inspiration behind it, na the technique, because I can see a lot of things. There is a man, kuna mwanamke, there is like a kid, and I can still feel the texture of the art.
Always explore different locations, different people, different cultures. Wewe tuambie tu hapo kwa comment section ni wapi unataka to explore next, na Team E Squared itakuwa right on it, si ndio? So Benjamin, finally we are winding up the show. Yeah. Finally. You've seen that on location, you saw it?
Nakapoa sana, you looked quite dashing.
I was waiting for that part.
You looked quite dashing.
I know, ravishing.
Will you enjoy lakini?
Yeah, I had fun.
What was your experience? Will you learn?
I had a good time. I think one thing that I picked from that whole shoot was you can never exhaust your creativity. Once you're a creative, the more you keep practicing, the more you keep growing your talent in the different scene that you are good at, the more you keep getting better. So creativity is key, and you can never exhaust it.
The place inaitwa Corner Art.
Inajita Art Corner.
Art Corner.
Yeah.
Hapa tu Buru.
Iko tu hapa Buru, imagine.
Oh.
Yeah. So guys, kama kuna location unataka to explore, tuambie tu kwa comments. We will explore that space next. Tunaweza kuja Rongai, by the way. Rongai kuna masimba.
Kuna masimba. Na kuna artists pia.
Okay. Tunaweza waweka wote pamoja tufanye on location, senda.
Mbaya sana. Kwanza inaweza kuwa nice show sana. Hamjaifika diaspora?
Tushai, but hatujai. Tushawai,
but hatujai.
Tunacheza safe, hatujai, but tunacheza yeah. So Benjamin, before we wind up, we forgot one important detail yenye who make sure E Squared each and every Saturday. Did you know, Nasheng?
Did I know?
So Benjamin, did you know? Guys, I know I'm late, but I'm sorry. So did you know? So today's did you know? Did you know that letter I, kale ka dot kanakuwa kwa lowercase, yani small letter I na small letter J. Unajua inaitwa aje?
A dot.
Inaitwa a title. Title.
Wow.
A combination of tiny and little title.
You learn something new every day.
Now you know.
Now I know.
Yeah.
Did you know?
Yes. No, I did not. Okay.
Before that. Anyway, Sheng word of the day leo.
Mhm.
Haya. Chogi.
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 Visijui.
Chogi ni watchman.
Uh-huh.
So hata mimi mwenyewe sielewi how they are related, but Chogi watchman. Maybe from Wochi. Najua Sheng ni kitu ina advancing sana.
But ikitolewa from Wochi itakuwa haitakuwa chogi.
Itakuwa chiwo. Still in a rhyme. Chogi,
Yeah.
Wochi.
But
So,
nimelearn.
Leisure.
Yeah.
So apart from that, leo tumekuwa na experience poa sana na band. Wametuchezea mangoma poa. I liked the art exhibition. I wish ningekuwa na wewe. Next time unichanue manze. Unajua venye napenda art na uniambiangi twende.
Okay, sawa, nitakushanua next time.
Sawa.
And guys, I'm hoping you've gotten something from the conversation we have with Josephine. Itakuwa bado up on YouTube. Interact with our content, guys. Give us your suggestions on some of the things you also want us to tackle before tumalize conversation ya baby care, sindo? We are winding up on that conversation very soon. And of course, you guys saw the poster, so we want to apologize for that as well. Our artist was not able to also be part of today's show due to unavoidable circumstances, and we apologize for that as Team Squared. So stay tuned for next week's show. You're going to love it. You're going to be having amazing artists, an amazing pediatrician. Yani show ya next week, mimi hata niko excited already.
Itakuwa noma.
Hata mimi nitakusurprise next week. So leo nimedance.
Leo umedance.
Next week nitarap.
Na itakuwa ngumu.
Yeah.
Si rahisi.
Hapana. Hebu trust in me. Why?
I trust in you. You can wrap a gift very well. You can wrap a nice gift.
Thank you so much, guys. See you next week. Same time, same place. But in the meantime, enjoy some beautiful music from the lovely Black Boy Band. Have a lovely afternoon.
Goodbye.